Hey guys, we're here with Rich with Trail Hero. We're doing the Fallen, which is a brand new trail, grand opening today, and he's going to tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, we spent about 2 months working on this, me and a bunch of local veterans, and just seemed fitting. There's a lot of good obstacles. There's the right amount of obstacles as well, and Sand Hollow in southern Utah kind of needs this, and our sport does as well. So, you know, it's really nice to be able to put this together, and we're out here having a good time.
Sounds good. And you run Trail Hero every year?
Yeah. So I run a 5-day guided trail ride event called Trail Hero, October 1st through the 5th, and this will be one of the trails that we're on, but it should be just a fun time. It's good trail riding for all types of vehicles. When you're done with your trails, you get to watch free rock sports entertainment, so rock racing, rock crawling, trail breaking, all these pros from all over the world come in to compete. It's all free to spectate, and then after that we have beach parties and live music and all sorts of catering and stuff, so yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a vendor show. It's always a good time. We're going to be here, Trail Hero. It's going to put on a really great event. And what are the dates for that this year?
Yeah, October 1st to the 5th.
October 1st through October 5th. Well, cool, man. Really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Once everybody was ready to go, we headed out, heading south through the tunnels and then turning east. After heading east for a little while, we turned south again and headed up the hill, going through a couple of sand dunes and over some rocks as well, before eventually ending up at the start of the trail. Now, the start of the trail is marked with a couple of markers. The first marker you're going to notice will say "The Fallen," indicating that you have found the trail. The second marker is going to be an indicator of the very first obstacle, which is World War I. World War I is also followed by a second obstacle, which will be the third differentiating plaque that you'll see, called World War II. Now, these two obstacles are one continuously long obstacle, and here's a little drone footage showing you what that looks like with no one on it. When you come to the end of the obstacle, World War II, there is a slight fork. You can take the easier line on the left, or you can take the extremely difficult line on the right. The first buggy in our group that went across this line was very well built and ended up flexing enough to puncture a steering line, so that line did take out the buggy, the very first failure of the day for us. There is a bypass line to almost all of the obstacles on this trail, so if you feel like your rig's not quite capable to do all of the obstacles, but you still want to check it out, then you do have that option. You will still want some decent articulation, and definitely are going to need a high clearance 4x4 just to get out there. Now, this line was actually one of my favorite lines of the day. I had a lot of fun. The obstacle looks a lot more aggressive than it ended up feeling like it was. And with a really good spotter, this obstacle is fairly doable with a moderately built rig such as mine.
Yeah.
So the obstacle that I just came up is the one you're looking at right now, and we will continue on almost straight south to the next couple of obstacles, which seemed a little bit less aggressive than the rest of the ones on the trail, but this is also the obstacle where we happened to snap an axle shaft on the Dana 44. Route finding from this point can be a little bit tricky. You're going to want to head almost straight south after going east just a little bit. There is a little bit of a road that heads south from there. Basically, you'll want to head towards a large group of rocks that you'll be able to see almost directly south of you at this point. As you can see, the bypass trail here goes just to the left of the main trail. So where the other rigs are to the right of us is the main trail, and the bypass trail will go there to the left. In the end of this ravine, there is a fairly aggressive obstacle which is called Somalia, and this is about a 6-foot vertical wall that's going to be on the right hand side. Now there is a bit of a ramp. You can take the line to the right, which is a little bit easier than the wall which is on the left. So as we follow the ravine closer to the main obstacle, Somalia here, this is right in the center is Somalia. That's the main wall. Now there is a little bypass you can't really see to the left if you prefer to take that. So the preferred method for this obstacle is to first and foremost get your front wheels up on the top of the wall. Then you'll work your way over to the right a little bit, where there's a little bit of a ledge on the right side that's a little taller than it is on the left. This gives you an advantage to load that left side up a little heavier. Then you'll back up until your front wheels are just on the edge of the top of that ledge, where you will then give it a Moab bump to get up over the top.
there. Just about there. You're good there. Man, this is a gnarly obstacle, man. That 500 horsepower to work, eh?
Once we made it to some of the final obstacles here on the course, the traffic did get backed up a little bit because the next couple of obstacles were very difficult and aggressive. Now, there is a vertical wall with a very sharp turn to the left. Feel free to watch these attempts and feel free to pick your own line on this obstacle, because there were several lines that seemed to work depending on the wheelbase and width of the vehicle. As you can see here, the method is to climb the wall, turn to the left, spin the tires, and get that front end to come around. This is one of the couple of techniques that we saw. Another technique was to just try and angle towards the left line a little bit more. The problem with that is that it will try and roll the vehicle over to the right. So depending again on the width and the length of your wheelbase of your vehicle will determine what line is best for you to take here.
David, this way. You want to climb over here a little bit. So,
Almost immediately after you climb the wall and turn to the left, there's going to be another obstacle that is a wedge style obstacle. Now this one, the departure on this particular obstacle is fairly crucial. You want to stay high and to the left all the way through until there's a rock that you can come down onto. If you drop prematurely, you will hit that wall.
Come this way a little.
After completing these couple of obstacles, there are a few more before you finally reach the end of the trail. This is where we were able to hike up into a small clearing. At this point, Rich talked a little bit about the ideas and the process of how the trail was built.
There was like 6-7 rigs with us as we were doing it, and we just all came up with this idea. And I'm hopefully not taking sole credit for it. There's a lot of people that was part of this, so right on. But you know, there's a lot of the little bird holes here. Most of them are abandoned, so good place to put memories and stuff. Along the cables that Jim donated, we can put memories there. We're gonna put a sign here that will say drill grounds, and eventually everyone who's donated to the trail will get, that's the only place they'll get notification credit for is on that sign. Sweet. I don't like that, you know, it's bigger than brands everywhere.
Right. Yeah.
We'd like to give a huge shout out to Trail Hero and thanking them for inviting us along for this grand opening event. This is an amazing trail, and I highly recommend, if you're in the Sand Hollow area, to go and check it out. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe.